everyone, welcome to ABC Interactive English, and I am Karen.
I'm Mike, and our story for today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow for 3 days is called The Guest. Wow, since COVID-19 has stopped us from traveling, I haven't gone home to Canada. None of my family or friends have come here. I have not been a guest in someone's house for a long time.
So basically, being a guest is kind of like the person visiting someone's home, right?
That's right. Someone asks you to come to their house, maybe for a party or maybe to live or stay there for a few days. Do you like having guests or being a guest in another person's house?
I love having guests over because it's a lot of fun, and I like having my friends over. You can think about what to prepare for them, maybe a nice meal, what kind of games we might play in my home. There are a lot of things that you can think about when you are having guests over. How about you?
Well, I do like having guests over for a short period of time.
A short period of time?
Well, I think someone said guests and fish start to smell bad after 3 days. So you can stay in my house for 3 days, but after that I kind of want you to go away. And I can be a guest, but I never quite feel comfortable when I'm staying in another person's home. I always feel like I'm the fish.
Really? Do you feel like maybe you won't feel so, it's not like your own home?
It's not. I won't feel totally comfortable. It's nice, I enjoy it, but after a few days I'll go home or go to a hotel or something like that. But we're gonna find out all about the guest in our story, and also the host, the person who has the guest, is a very interesting character.
I can't wait.
Let's read on and find out.
An old witch lived in a house with her grandson. She was a very bad person, and she thought of nothing but hurting others. One day, her neighbor had a guest.
So we are looking at part 1 of our story called The Guest, right? So what is a guest?
A guest is a person who has been invited to go to a special place or to do a special thing. We often use other words with the word guest because if I say, hey, I'm having a thing, I want you to join me. You are a guest, but are you a party guest? Are you a wedding guest? Are you a house guest staying in my home for a few days? If you go to a hotel, you are a guest in that hotel. So basically, you're in a place that is not normally your place. Someone has asked you or let you be there, and you are there to probably have fun and enjoy yourself. And then after some time, you will go home because you don't live there, you're just a guest.
That's right, and it's really important to be polite as a guest.
Yes.
So someone will want to invite you back again. But if you were not very polite in someone's home, next time they would probably not want to invite you back.
That's right, always be a good guest. Never be a bad guest. Let's find out who the guest in our story is and what is going on. We already see this is a very strange situation. It says an old witch lived in a house with her grandson. Okay, she lives in a house. She has a grandson. That's fine. That's totally normal.
But you said it's a witch.
She's a witch.
Witch. a witch is a noun. So when you say the word witch, people would think about a person that's believed to have magic powers. And someone would probably, this witch would probably cast a spell on someone and maybe turn that person into an animal or something like that. Or do something bad, right? But sometimes when people refer to someone like an old lady who is really mean, they would probably describe that person as a witch as well.
Ooh, but that, of course, would not be a polite word to use.
That's right.
And normally we think of witches as the ladies in black with the black hat, riding on a broom. Maybe she has a black cat. It's very popular to dress as a witch for Halloween, but these aren't real people. These are people from stories. Okay, she is a witch. And she's a witch with a family.
That's right.
That's also a little strange. Many witches in stories don't have families, but she does. She at least has a grandson. Now, a grandson would be the child of this lady's son or daughter. There are 2 generations. The people who you live with, your mother and father, their mothers and fathers will be your grandparents, and if you are a boy, you will be their grandson, or if you're a girl, a granddaughter. You're quite young, the grandfather or grandmother are quite old. So there's this old lady, she's a witch, she lives in a house with this younger man, but there is a family connection. He is her grandson.
That's right. Okay, let's learn more about this family. She was a very bad person.
She's a witch, of course.
Well, yeah, I guess, could you have a good witch?
You can be a good witch, but most of them are not.
Exactly. Okay, so, and she thought of nothing but hurting others. Okay, now we know that she really is a bad witch because she thought of nothing but hurting others. She doesn't want to do anything else, but she only thinks about how she can hurt others. One day, her neighbor had a guest. Ooh, neighbor is our next vocabulary word. A neighbor is a noun, is someone who lives near you, someone whose home is very close to yours. And this area near your home, we would sometimes call your neighborhood. So someone who lives in your neighborhood are usually referred to your neighbor.
Yeah, do you know most of your neighbors?
No, not really.
Okay.
Do you?
In some countries, it's very common to be friends with your neighbors. In other places, you don't talk. I know my neighbors across the hallway who live very close. It's an old man and lady, and they often give us their fruit.
Oh, that is really nice.
And so we will make things and give them to them too. It's nice to be friends with your neighbors, but my neighbor has never been a witch.
Okay,
so that would be a little bit different. Let's take a break, and we'll find out more about the guest, the witch, the grandson, and more stuff.
The guest was a hunter. He and the neighbor would go hunting every morning. They always came back with a great deal of meat. That made the witch jealous. So the witch decided to kill the guest. She made her special soup. It was poisonous and would kill anyone in an instant.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, when we're looking at our story, we learned that there is an old witch who lives in a house with her grandson. And the witch is a very bad person.
That's right. She thinks of nothing but causing trouble. The only thing she likes to do is to do bad things. She's not a nice lady, but she has a neighbor. She lives next to someone who lives close by, and this neighbor had a guest.
Oh, that means someone is visiting this neighbor.
The neighbor, that's right. I hope the witch does not do something bad to the neighbor or the guest, but let's read on to find out about this special guest. It says the guest was a hunter.
Oh,
Okay,
what's a hunter?
Well, a hunter, this would be a job that this person, I guess it's a man, probably does. And a hunter is someone who goes out and shoots wild animals, usually or hopefully for food. Back in the old days, before supermarkets and fast food restaurants, people often had to catch and kill their own food. We're not talking about chickens and pigs here. We're probably talking about deer and other wild animals like that. You would go out into the forest with a bow and arrow or a gun or maybe just a spear. You would find the animal, kill the animal, cut it up, and eat the animal. And the person who does the killing and finding, that would be a hunter. There could be hunters today. They do it for sport, and sometimes it's not a nice thing to do, of course, because we have supermarkets and fast food restaurants. You don't need to hunt.
We don't want to kill the animals.
That's right, but there are hunters. And of course, a long time ago, this was much more common. So I said this is a man. Often for a woman, there's a special word, a huntress. So I guess if it's a hunter, that would be a man.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what happens next. He and the neighbor, which means the hunter, he's the hunter.
Yep.
He and the neighbor would go hunting every morning. So every morning, maybe they will take their bow and arrow or their guns to go and hunt some animals. They always came back with a great deal of meat.
Wow.
So I guess they're very good hunters, right?
They're very successful.
Every single day or every single time, they can always come back with a great deal of meat. That means quite a lot of meat. That made the witch jealous. Jealous is an adjective. When you say you feel jealous of something, it's like the resentment. You don't feel good about something. Sometimes maybe you are in a competition with somebody and the winner, they won the trophy and you didn't win the trophy. And you feel jealous. You think that you should have gotten that trophy. Not Mike. It should have been me.
Hey, don't be so jealous. I worked hard for this.
So it's kind of like the bad feeling that you have when you see someone else has something that you don't. So she's very jealous.
That's right. You often say people are green with jealousy because they have a thing. I want that thing and I won't be happy till I get it. But don't be jealous. Everyone has their own special luck at different times. Anyway, the witch is jealous. She sees all this delicious food. She's eating her special soup made of sticks and rocks and nothing good. She wants all that meat too. So, being a witch, she decided to do something very, very bad. So, it says the witch decided to kill the guest. She's not just going to steal the meat, she's going to kill the hunter.
That's
oh my
so
gosh,
evil.
that is terrible. But she is a witch. She does evil things. How was she going to kill the guest, kill the hunter? She made her special soup. It's special, but not in a good way. This is a bad special. What was special about the soup? It was poisonous and would kill anyone in an instant.
Oh dear.
Oh no. So the poisonous soup is like the poisonous apple from Snow White. It looks delicious, but don't eat it.
So when you describe something as poisonous, that is an adjective. That is something that you eat or take in that could kill you. So it has poison in it. So it's maybe some kind of substance or some kind of chemical that would hurt or harm your body. So like Mike said, Snow White ate the poisonous apple, and that's why she fainted, right? So you do not want to eat anything that has poison in it, or you don't want to eat anything that is poisonous.
That's right. It will make you sick or could even kill you. Things like mushrooms are very dangerous to pick in the forest, many mushrooms can be poisonous. And if the poison, that's the bad chemicals in the thing, if the poison is very strong, or if those mushrooms are very poisonous, you could die in an instant.
Oh no!
This expression means very, very quickly. No time will pass. You bite the mushroom, you eat the mushroom, you swallow it, and 5, 4, 3, 2, you start to get very sick and feel very bad, and you could die very fast or in an instant. That's not good. This is not a nice witch. Don't eat the soup, Mr. Hunter. Don't do it.
So what's going to happen next? I can't wait to find out.
You have to. We're only going to find out tomorrow.
Okay, well,
I know.
we'll have to see you guys next time.
We won't see you in an instant, but we will see you tomorrow. So come back for part 2 of The Guest.
An old witch lived in a house with her grandson. She was a very bad person, and she thought of nothing but hurting others. One day, her neighbor had a guest. The guest was a hunter. He and the neighbor would go hunting every morning. They always came back with a great deal of meat. That made the witch jealous. So the witch decided to kill the guest. She made her special soup. It was poisonous and would kill anyone in an instant.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 guest 名词，客人、宾客。50 guests were invited to this party. 50位客人被邀请参加派对。下一个单字 grandson 名词，孙子或者是外孙。The old man has 12 grandsons but no granddaughters. 这位老人有12位孙子，但没有任何孙女。下一个单字 neighbor 名词，邻居。One of my neighbors is a singer. 我的一位邻居是歌手。最后一个单字 hunter 名词，猎人。The hunter followed the tracks of the deer. 猎人跟随着那只鹿的脚印走去。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 somebody thinks of nothing but 加名词或者是动名词。某人只想着什么事情 ？Nothing but 表示只有、仅有。我有一个表姐啊，结婚了好多年都没有生小孩。原来我表姐不容易怀孕，她试了很多种方法，一心只想生下一个孩子。My cousin thinks of nothing but having a baby. 我表姐一心只想生个孩子。下一个文法 ，a great deal of 加名词，大量的、许多的什么东西。这个片语用来修饰不可数名词，我们来看看这个例句。He seems to have a great deal of trouble at school. 他似乎在学校惹了不少麻烦。最后一个文法 ，in an instant， 马上、瞬间。Instant 是名词，表示刹那间的意思。我们来看看这个例句。The hungry dog finished the food in an instant. 那只饿坏的狗马上就把食物吃完了。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hello, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I'm Carolyn. I'm Winnie.
Today we're playing a game called Undercover. We each have cards with words on them, and one of us has a different word from the other three, and that person is the spy. We're each going to give 2 rounds of hints, and then after that we're going to guess who we think is the person who is undercover. So I'll start with a hint about my word. I feel this way before taking a test.
Sometimes when you look at someone and they have something that you don't have, you feel this way.
If you feel this way, it might be a clue that you need to change something about your life.
This can be a negative feeling, but sometimes it's positive when it makes you make better changes.
Okay. I feel this way right now.
I feel this way when I see somebody with someone else that I like.
When I feel this way, sometimes it doesn't feel good at first, but then I can turn it into something positive.
Sometimes when you feel this way, you become a green-eyed monster.
Okay, so on the count of 3, we're all gonna guess who we think is the spy. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yeah, I think my first clue gave me away as the spy because I found out I was the spy after that. But I was thinking like, yeah, I don't feel jealous before tests.
Okay, so my word was jealous.
Mine was jealous.
And mine was jealous.
All right, and mine was anxious. So yeah, so I do feel anxious before a test. I don't feel jealous before a test. So I kind of knew it was me. But yeah, so I knew right away when you said that you feel that about
Somebody.
when someone has something.
And at first because you went first, and I'm still not sure if you guys, if we're all the same word. So I felt like our words it can still be similar. So I could try to give an example that's like yours, but I think in the end it's still, it was a completely different kind of feeling.
I think when we three were all talking similarly about how it's about something we want, then I realized, Matt is talking about something that's not pleasurable, it's not pleasant,
Yeah, I realized that too, and that's why on my second hint, I tried to just be as vague as possible.
As soon as you went and then you went, I pretty much figured out that you were the spy.
I guess I lost.
We knew right away.